Not sure if I agree with it, but it did work in that case. Though the Hydras can just tomp away at those medevacs very, very easily. But either way, well done. Nice place Marine here by this Onaga Watchtower. You can't really see him, back here. But it does give him the Terran player vision. Another small battle going on here. Going to try to pick off these tanks. He does not want to let them siege. But these Stem Marines are just doing so much damage to the Zerg army. As the Zerg player waits for reinforcements. Going to try to pick away some of these units. Drones coming off the line. One lone Roach or Hydra over there getting picked. Terran Marines do stem up again. But these... wow. Mouthful. My mouth is running dry. These medevacs are healing these Marines just so fast. Lots of energy left on them. Wow, so the Terran player has macroed up quite a nice army. He is supply locked because there's been so many Overlord deaths, but these Roaches are going to tank this front right here and just pick away at these units. Very, very nice. There goes all the Marines, and there's nothing but tanks left. Picking up the tank, putting it back down, and Naama does pick up that last tank to get away with its life. So this army tab, this has just been an action-packed game as we have had these battles going across the map pretty much for the last 10 minutes or so. But it does look like each player is going to try to macro up another army. Maybe this Zerg player, a bunch of Hydralisks just popped, going to regroup and try to do some kind of battle again by engaging that Terran player, Naama. Let's look at the income tab. Wow, finally, I bet the Zerg player knows that is just so far ahead on these in the worker count that the Zerg player is in a far dominant position right now. Even though the Terran player does have those mules and they are mining at about the same amount, the mules are only temporary. Nice Overlord placement. Saw that drop coming in of 7 Marines. Looks like we might have Banshees coming around the back side of this base of the Zerg user LaLuSh. Cloak is on the way, and our Cloak is actually done, and there's plenty of energy on those Banshees to get a lot of damage done. So maybe another 2-part attack. Attack with the back with those Banshees, and this medevac dropped on the expansion. Huge ball of Hydralisk and Roaches with a couple of supporting Lings in the middle of the map. There are 2 Cloak Banshees going to run right past these units as there is no Overseer in the area. Going to make quick work of these drones over here as it looks like they're fresh recruits. They are going to get lots and lots of kills though, as there should be an Overseer being morphed into place somewhere. Yes, right here. So the drones are going to get back to mining. Wouldn't be a bad idea to see an Overseer at each one of these bases. I'm sure LaLuSh is smart enough to do that. But yeah, just a huge number of Hydralisk and Roach play going on by the Zerg player. He does know that this is the right answer, and again, with these SCVs coming off the line, is so weird. I guess he's going to use them to tank as some sort of all-in measure as these Marines do stem. Wow, lots of low hit point Marines right here. Trying to engage his Terran army, or the Zerg army rather, as the Banshees do cloak. The Banshees are going to be able to pick off these Hydralisks, and there will be no answer as the Overseer is out of position. Where is the Overseer? Did he get picked off by a Viking? It must have, because there is no Overseer in the area. These tanks are now sieging on this ledge right here as the Terran force does move out with these SCVs and the Cloak Banshees. Overseer right here does not want to let it get picked off by any kind of Marines or anything like that, so he pulls it back for safe measure. Terran player, Naama, just sieging up, trying to lure this Zerg army into play. As he does, Zerg attacks with his Hydras to these low hit point Marines, but these tanks in the back are just shelling away. 5 and 6 kills respectively on those units. It's going to be too much for the Zerg player as he just really wasn't in position. I do believe the Zerg player had a bigger army in that instance, but these tanks in the back that the Zerg player cannot reach just do so much damage to the Hydralisk and Roach composition. Looks like a bunch more Overlords going to go down. Shouldn't matter so much as, well, if he gets these 2, it will matter quite a bit as he will be supply locked. But Zerg player still ahead in drone count and base count. But if we look at the army tab, wow, Zerg player is actually a little bit ahead, so maybe the Zerg just knows that he needs to macro up a little bit before engaging this army. These tanks though are just so powerful as the Zerg player needs some sort of like Brood Lords or Mutalisks to deal with these tanks in the back. Marines and Marauders stem, come up to the base, pick off a couple units, pull back, get healed, rinse, wash, repeat. They can do that all day long, if long as there's enough medevacs. It does look like the Zerg player might go around, try and get some kind of flank in the back and in the front. But the hatchery does go down. These drones should run home so they don't get sniped. But yes, it looks like we are going to have a two-pronged flank here. But this number of Marines can just own that number of Hydralisks. So attack didn't go as planned. Looks like he still might be setting up for that LaLuSh, that is the Zerg player, for this two-pronged attack. As if he could pull that off, it would be good. I do apologize for that. I'm trying to get these recording problems worked out. But we do have Stim Marines and Marauders again, going to pick away at these Roaches and Hydras. Very low hit points though. If he can run these drones in the front and try to soak up some of that damage, that would just be too good. Because the Hydras can make quick work of these low hit points, and Marines, or make quick work of the low hit point Marines, rather. Scan going down, going to pick off a couple of these creep tumors, making these Hydras much slower. But the two medevacs are going to pull back and heal this Terran army. If the Zerg player was able to get off that flank here in the middle, that would have just been so huge. But it doesn't look like LaLuSh could ever set up the flank that he wanted to get, making the armies still fairly even in this instance. But it does look like the Terran player is going to get his gold pretty soon, as he's shelling away at these rocks right here. Expansion already built, just needs to lift up and float into place. What are these two Roaches doing? Roaches go down on the low ground, see what the Terran player is up to, and there is indeed another really low 4 hit point Cloak Banshee, Sergeant Banshee I should call it, as it does have 11 kills. Looks like a couple of Marines just being very annoying right here, as there is a Changeling that was thrown up onto the high ground by the Overseer. Lone Marine over here keeping tabs on this gold expansion. Another Marine going to come up here and try to grab this watchtower again. Changeling should see it, but the Marine could just shoot the Changeling and get rid of that scout Marine, or scout Changeling rather. So more medevacs in play for the Terran player Naama, as these Marines are healed basically to full hit points. Looks like there was another siege tank that did join the army. So we do have lots more Hydras, lots more Roaches. Pull up the production tab rather. So lots of Infestors on the way, however. Another Changeling being thrown down there. Being killed right away though. This hatchery trying to go back up was cancelled. As these buildings right here will just bleed away because there is no creep to stop them. So looks like a handful of Roaches and a handful of Hydralisks may be coming down here to attack. Maybe there was an attack down there. I missed that. Doesn't look like there was an attack because there's full hit points on that orbital command. But very nice scan going down right here, catching this entire Zerg army with that scan. The Terran player knows exactly what he's going to be going up against. He might make some kind of move right here, as he does have a very hard to deal with army if these siege tanks siege up in the back and the Marines stem to get rid of some of these Hydralisks and Roaches. But we do have these Infestors now, so if the Terran army does try to stem, expansion going down once again. We saw this last game where the Zerg player could not get any minerals, as the Terran player just kept denying the Zerg LaLuSh any kind of expansion. But it looks like this Marine is going to run here, hide in the back. The Marine does know that the Zerg player, or the Terran player does know the Zerg player is trying to break away these rocks, as they are successfully broken away now, and we should see some kind of hatchery coming down shortly. Back over here, the Terran player Naama does like this position, which I don't know if I agree with it, but it just appears to me like you could get a pretty nice flank in here. There is, however, no creep on the left side and minimal creep on the right side, but again, Naama knows what he's doing. He's won several of these, as this huge ball of Roaches, Hydras, and Infestors do come down here. There must have been some kind of scanner sweep, as these SCVs were pulled away, as Naama does not want any SCV loss, as he just wants to focus on building his army up. Does look like there was a couple of Marines here, maybe ran in to do some kind of scouting information. This single Marine is going to try to get a couple drone kills off as this gold expansion comes up. These drones are long distance mining. Back over here though, holy moly, Lots of fungal growths going down. These roaches and hydras, though, are not in position, and these fungal growths are just not going to do the damage they need to do, as he missed the grunt of the force that's in the back. If any closer to the sledge, and these tanks would have just shelled away at these infestors and hydras, and there's really not enough there. A couple more fungal growths off on these units, so we get rid of a lot of the marines, but there is no answer for the large number of tanks. If the Zerg player can pull back and mass up quite a impressive army, not even really that impressive, just a little larger army, as he's sitting on a ton of gas, little elevator drop to kill the Hydra activating his watchtower, and there just isn't much left of the Zerg army as he's out of minerals because he has not been able to expand. It does look like the gold is up for the Zerg player, but it might be too little too late as this Terran force does stem up, starts to move in. Zerg player runs a little bit. 2 Hydra is going to be caught out of position, which is very bad for the Zerg player LaLuSh, as he needs every single unit he can get. Stem Marines, Stem Marauders coming in, going to make quick work of these roaches. There's just nothing that these Zerg players can do. Wow. Tank's going to siege up, blast away at this hatchery. If this hatchery goes down there, it just has to be GG, as LaLuSh just cannot do anything. And wow, LaLuSh coming back with the rage. He says, designed for a cheesy A-moving noobs to make one air unit and have total dominance. So LaLuSh not happy, as nobody would be after they lose 4 games in a row. So it does look like Naama does take this best of 7 series, pretty much doing the same build, denying the Zerg to expand and keeping the Zerg confined to 2 bays. Thanks for watching this this best of 7 series with me, guys. I do plan on putting more series like this up in the future. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Please give me some thumbs up or whatever to make me, tell your friends about me. Anything like that, as I do appreciate all of you for watching. Thanks, guys.